The following document contains highly classified information regarding the entity herein referred to as S1. The S1 entity exhibits characteristics that diverge significantly from known biological and physical norms, necessitating a high level of confidentiality and restricted access to this video document. The following is a collection of the encounter records considered the most pertinent to this document.
Residents first observed subject S1 descending from the sky in a remote farmland region. Initial reports described a humanoid figure approximately 6 feet in height with an uncanny resemblance to human anatomy. Witnesses reported an immediate sense of unease and dread upon viewing the subject, even at prolonged distances. The officer encountered the S1 entity in midst of an industrial fire, during which S1 appeared to be working to extinguish the flames and get workers out safely. The officer reported feeling insignificant and overwhelmed in subject S1's presence. Over the next 6 months, the officer continued to experience severe forms of psychological distress, ultimately resulting in permanent hospitalization for acute anxiety. Across the area, with the quantity of remains too numerous to be counted at the time of discovery. Subsequent identification confirmed that the remains belonged to the kidnappers. The child involved in the incident was recovered unharmed. Encountered S1 entity after subjects lost control of their vehicle and drove off a cliff. Subject claimed to have prolonged visual contact with S1. Subject stated, "It just stared at me. It looked like a man, but it wasn't a man. I could tell. Just from looking at it, I could tell. It looked at me like I was a bug, like it was disappointed. Or it couldn't even see me. I was so insignificant. I felt like nothing at all." Subject stated, "One moment the building was there, the next it was rubble. It happened so fast I thought I'd blacked out, or lost time. It couldn't have been real. What I saw couldn't have been real. I keep telling myself that. This can't be real." Subject stated, "It saw me, and I saw it. Naked in the sunlight, it just stared at me. Like ants. We thought we had lives with meaning and purpose, but all we are is ants, just building anthills and warring over territory, while all along this thing has been out there. If we're ants, it's a bulldozer. It's a nuclear bomb. It will turn our civilization to ash and never even notice we were here."
The attached documents were compiled as part of an initial investigation aimed at elucidating the physical capabilities of the S1 entity. This analysis has been tailored to ensure comprehension by personnel without a scientific background.
S1 exhibits outwardly human traits, but is demonstrably non-human, with a physiology surpassing known biological limitations, suggesting an extraterrestrial origin or extra-dimensional nature. The subject's mere presence appears to induce extreme psychological distress. Extended exposure results in cognitive dissonance, paranoia, and in severe cases, catatonia. Despite its humanoid appearance, S1's internal structure remains incomprehensible, theorized to contain organ systems unlike any known Terran species. Subject containment is of utmost priority. S1 represents a clear threat capable of resulting in catastrophic events beyond human comprehension. Subject S1 demonstrates the ability to defy gravitational forces through mechanisms not yet fully understood. Current hypotheses suggest that S1's flight capability is facilitated by the emission and manipulation of ultraliminal frequencies. These frequencies, operating at ranges beyond conventional detection methods, are theorized to interact with gravitational fields on a subatomic level. Preliminary data indicates that exposure to these frequencies may induce significant neurophysiological disturbances, leading to acute mental instability in humans and other terrestrial organisms. Observations indicate that the S1 entity possesses the ability to translocate objects significantly exceeding the mass limits typical for an entity of its size. This suggests an inhuman degree of strength, likely facilitated by an advanced form of molecular manipulation, possibly involving the reconfiguration of atomic structures or the temporary alteration of gravitational forces. Further research is necessary to determine the mechanisms behind this capability and its implications for human interaction with the entity. It has been observed that the S1 entity possesses the ability to move at speeds that far surpass any known biological or mechanical capabilities. This hypervelocity movement suggests an advanced manipulation of space-time or the employment of an unknown energy source to facilitate such rapid transit. One working theory posits that S1 speed is achieved through the generation of localized temporal distortions, effectively allowing the entity to bypass traditional physical limitations of velocity. Further investigation is required to understand the exact mechanisms behind S1's movement. Current data indicates that the hypervelocity capability not only enables rapid transit, but also contributes to the entity's elusive nature, making containment and observation exceedingly difficult.
On November 18, 1982, Agent Number 889 engaged in prolonged contact with the S1 entity, including an exchange of verbal communication. The agent reported that entity S1 spoke excellent English with a slight trace of an accent implying time spent in the Kansas-Missouri region, and reported feelings of insignificance and dread, stating later that the subject's presence seemingly induced an overwhelming and uniquely personal sense of cosmic insignificance. When pushed for further clarification, Agent 889 became increasingly agitated and eventually entirely non-cooperative. The following is an audio recording taken from the interrogation of Agent 889.
It looks human. It does. And it can act human. It can act like one of us. But it's not one of us. It's not an alien. It's an extra-dimensional being. And it doesn't care that we exist. It doesn't acknowledge us. We're not real to it. We're like a video game, or pictures in a comic book. We don't even exist on the same level of reality. Maybe it wanted to help us at first, but I think it's starting to hate us now. Like we're a toy it's getting tired of. It could destroy any of us. It could destroy the whole world if it wanted, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Medical doctors present for Agent 889's interrogation stated that the agent exhibited signs of acute stress reaction, characterized by extreme agitation and physiological hypervigilance. Following their interrogation, Agent 889 was able to acquire a guard sidearm, which the agent used to self-terminate. The following is a collection of images collected from various sources, related to the S1 entity and its impacts on environment. Subject S1 presents an ongoing enigma, challenging our understanding of biology, physics, and the very fabric of reality. Prolonged exposure to the subject may result in severe psychological and existential repercussions. Further encounters and experiments should be conducted with extreme caution. Subject S1 is to be approached with utmost caution. Any further interaction should prioritize observation over engagement.